Here we have 3 gravity knives. 2 of them are real Reate EXOs and 1 of them is a clone. We're going to talk about how well this clone is compared to the real deal. And we're also going to talk about Blade HQ's new exclusive, lightweight, affordable version of the Reate EXO. Let's get into it. So Reate recently dropped their Nitro V Tonto version. Well, I think it comes in different blade shapes, but their Nitro V aluminum handled EXO, which is an exclusive at Blade HQ. However, at the time when I'm filming this, don't quote me, always check the links in the description. I do not know when you're watching this, but when I am filming this, they sold out before I got mine. As far as the budget versions, there's still the premium options left, but as far as the budget aluminum versions of Nitro V for around 120 bucks at the time I'm filming this, remember, even prices are subject to change, they were sold out. They sold out before I ever even got mine. So Blade HQ did send it to me, and it's awesome. It's really awesome. I'm glad that they wound up going with an affordable budget option because there's a lot of great things about this, you know, considering it's the real deal and from the real company. They do a great job with their Nitro V. They do a good job with their heat treatments pretty much across the board. They are one of the most highly regarded knife companies in the world, and they do a damn good job. Now, let's check out the real deal versus the clone. And I'm also going to tell you which one I would recommend and why, and also the differences and so on. Here, let's look at the 3 different ones together. This one has a little bit of a different locking system. They did that for the aluminum versions. You can tell the difference between the aluminum one and the titanium one. The locking system's not really going to matter which one because they are basically functioning the exact same way. And I'll just show you really quick. This locking system does not do anything as far as stopping this. It only stops this from opening and closing. That's it. So there's no stress on this lock. That's why even on a clone, the lock is not going to be compromised in this case, at least the locking part. We're going to go into other details, but so it prevents this from opening and closing. Well, when this is closed, now the lock is the frame, the actual frame right here. And in this case, aluminum with steel. So the steel presses down on the solid aluminum. So there's no pressure on this lock. It's only pressure on the frame. So technically, this is a very, very, very strong lock because the only way to fail it is one of 2 things can happen. Either one, this solid hardened steel plate right here that's in the blade breaks off because it is screwed into the blade, or 2, the blade snaps. So it's not gonna break this way and slide into the handle. It's gonna either just snap the blade or snap that. That's the only ways. And technically your hand should still be secure because it's not gonna fold shut on yours. Now, so because of that reason, you don't have to worry about the lock being compromised. And let's check out the clone versus the real deal. We'll check out the box here in a second too. So this is the clone. It's about 45, 50 bucks, something like that. And I do have to say, it's pretty damn accurate. It is very, very, very accurate. As far as functionality goes, this thing is on point. It has a ton of similarities, like from the texturing around the handle, inlay. There are some subtle differences, don't get me wrong, you know, quite a few actually. But this one's in D2 steel. So, supposedly D2 steel. So let's get this out of the way. I don't know if this is D2. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe it's some punched out steel that they make forks and pots and pans out of. I don't know. I have no idea. But you know, I do know they say D2, but I also know that a lot of companies lie about that. And I also know that when you're talking about clones and very, very cheap knives, they sometimes compromise the heat treatment. So there's a strong possibility that this has a very, very poor quality heat treatment or possibly even a compromised heat treatment. Even if it is D2, it could possibly be just a horrible heat treatment and this blade could just snap during light use. Or it could chip out or just potentially just go dull instantly and be difficult to sharpen back up. I don't know. I haven't tested it that thorough and I don't think I'm gonna. But you know, they say it's D2, and, you know, even if they're doing a decent job, or if they are, sorry, not what if they are doing a decent job with it, then, you know, hey, you know, it's, it actually is pretty solid in functionality and everything. Now, there are some differences as far as quality, though, like, and it pretty much, it stands out to somebody who knows quality knives. Like, one, look at this grind. The grind is definitely misground compared to what you're going to get from the real deal. Sharpen Control and plunge grind also is not as good. You can already see this one's got a smile already going. The grind is a little bit thicker on this one. The clip is raised up a little bit higher, I believe. Is that what it was? It's just a thicker clip. But, like I said, pretty damn accurate. Some people could possibly be even fooled by this. But, luckily, Reate does put their logo on there. These guys do not. They have no logos at all except for the D2. Now, the boxes, though, they did steal their logo pretty accurately. Ooh. This is the real one. This is the fake one. Real, fake. Look at the logo on the real one. You can see the print, the way it looks. Look at the pattern. Study the pattern. Because on this one, it is different. See that? So that tells me this is more than likely not made in the same factory. So I do not think Reate is doing this and putting those out there. Plus, you know, this you can just tell is not Reate's work. Even the hardware is different, you know, so on and so on. But yeah, as far as recommending, I'm going to recommend the Blade HQ one even over the clone, even though this one would be like $50, $70 more. This would be 120. This would be about 40, 50 bucks. But with this one, I know I'm getting a good heat treatment. I know I'm getting a quality steel and the steel that they advertise. I know the grinds are done better. You know, even, you know, the mechanism is obviously going to be, you know, quite a bit better being the real deal. This is deadly accurate, but it's still not as good as the real deal. Very close, but not as good as the real deal. So for that reason, I would say just buy the real one. That way you don't have to worry about all the issues I said that could potentially happen. And also one other thing really quick, I forgot to say this. This uses an aluminum slide. Remember I said these ones use steel, hardened steel slides. This little part right here that's screwed into the blade. Well, this one is an aluminum one. So it's aluminum on aluminum, not steel on aluminum or steel on titanium. It's aluminum on aluminum. So that right there already is a weaker point. Aluminum is nowhere near as tough as hardened steel. So, you know, that's that. If it was going to fail, which like I said before, the locking system is not really compromised and all the stress goes to the frame. But if something was going to catastrophically happen, it would be this piece on the slide or potentially the blade snapping due to poor heat treatment. Either way, though, like I said, because the Blade HQ exclusive ones are not in stock right now. At least when I'm filming this, check the links. They might be in stock. Just check the links. But at the time when I'm posting this, they sold out before I ever even got this. So I was really excited to show you guys this. I really, really want to show you guys. I know you guys would have been like excited to see it. So, you know, I did happen to order this before I ever even got this or knew about this. So, you know, I was planning on showing you guys because this is the thing. In the USA, we look down, and so do I, look down on clones. I don't like clones. I never recommend clones. Ever, ever, ever do I recommend clones because it's intellectual theft. You know, it is. In the USA, we look down on that because we are a capitalist country. We compete. So if you want to do something like what I'm doing, do it better or do it different or beat my price, whatever. Do something in your own way and beat me at my game. That's how we do it. Don't take the thing that I made and make a carbon copy and copy every detail of it, making it look just like mine and then try to sell it as mine. Don't do that. So in China, they don't really care about that as much, at least to my knowledge. I could be wrong about that, but to my knowledge, they look at it as almost like flattering. So I don't know, you know, that's just the way they do it. It's a little bit different. Typically you see the USA made stuff is the stuff that's being cloned, not typically Chinese stuff, but lately we have seen them actually cloning their own stuff. So, you know, like I don't think of it as that big of a deal, or that much more of a big deal to talk to you guys about it, because they don't care about it, right? It's not the USA's property getting messed with. However, it is Blade HQ's property, because Blade HQ is an exclusive in this case. So they have stakes in the game. So in that case, that's another reason why I want to, recommend Blade HQ. I don't want to undermine them or undercut them. Now, some people are just not going to care, and they're not going to spend, this much money, and especially this much money, whatsoever. But then there's some people that would never buy this and totally buy this or this. So, I'm giving you guys the options, so everybody's kind of, covered. Like I said, I typically would always tell you, don't buy clones, don't buy clones. You can't brag about having a clone. You know what I mean? There's no bragging rights to having a clone. I can understand why somebody might want the fidget factor, or want, basically a replica or something that's so similar so they can actually feel and experience it without spending the money they just don't have. Anyways, there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.